Coming up next on Unboxing, the Star TRC Pontoon Float Kit for the Mavic Pro, also available for the Mavic 2. Coming up next on Unboxing. Unboxing, the show where we open the box so you don't have to.
Thank you, and welcome to a very special edition of Unboxing. Today it's 82 degrees, so we are sporting the tropical wear. That would be 28 centigrade if we were in England. So, anyway, on today's episode, we have from Star TRC the Pontoon floats, which goes well with the tropical theme and the warm day. In fact, we hope to get out there after this episode filming to test them out. These are available from a variety of sources. I got these from Amazon, and this particular set was just under $25. I think $22 with an instant coupon. So let's open the box and see what we've got. Let's see, we've got the hardware bag. That looks to be the bracket assembly. We'll get all these open in a second. And two of the most hideously colored floats I've ever seen. I believe I'm going to call this watermelon puke. Seriously, why not yellow or blue or red or black? I don't know. Well, these might have to get painted, but I digress. And also included are 4 of the bracket holders. And other than that, there's no instructions. So we'll just keep this box nice and sturdy. We'll just put it aside for now. All right. Well, let's just have a look-see here. And bags look like Ziploc, so no tools needed to open. So we have one bracket assembly. Won't be needing the bag. This is from something else. And then we have the main hardware bag. I'm assuming this is toolless assembly. I will assume this until I see screws or nuts and bolts. Alright. And speaking of the devil, there are a few nuts and bolts. So we'll just toss that bag aside, move the floats aside, and what we have here. We've got a little bit of hardware, and actually these looks like camera mounts, so apparently this will give you a camera mount underneath it in addition to being floats. Very interesting. So, and then we have some other bracketry. Interesting that there's no instructions, but we can figure it out. And another sort of doodad. And another hardware bag. Yeah, these look like camera mounts. This is all camera mount hardware. They do include a little wrench for the nuts and bolts. So perhaps you need no tools. And this also looks like, yes, this is definitely a kind of a gimbal mount. Oh, not gimbal. I don't know. Is it a gimbal? Well, it's a manual one-way gimbal and has like a little bit of shock absorbers on it. So with a little bit of dampening. So kind of primitive, but I guess the fact that they include a camera mount, that's a good feature. So I'm just going to take a guess here. We're just going to ignore the camera hardware for now. And we'll take the Mavic Pro and let's just line up to see where this would most likely go on here, since there are no instructions. And I see right away that the back brackets are going to fit right into here. Now it's a question of just right side up, and it is definitely with the tubbed side of it. So the smooth side is going to be facing upwards. So one way to say it is ugly side down. And that will snap right into here. And this should just snap in there. Okay, so I see where they're going with this. So let's just undo this here, and this will hook into the body. I will show you this as soon as I pop it in there. It's easier to do it first here. So there's a tab up here. The tab will slide in, and then these two side tabs will hook in to the two legs. I guess this is what the Mavic lands on, so you could say it's its landing gear, which is a very, very sturdy connection. So the moment I put this on, this feels very secure, so that's already a good sign. And also it does not cover any of your sensors underneath it, so that's also a good design. One thing to remember, just want to point this out, whenever flying over water, turn off your bottom sensor, because the Mavic gets confused, and I've seen too often where the Mavic will try to land itself on top of the water, into the water. So you want to turn that off. All right, so moving along, these probably just snap right on. I don't think there's any differentials to front and back on these. These seem to be same old bracket no matter which way you do it. And then we go on the other side. All right. And it looks like it would give it a pretty wide stance. So let's sweep this hardware side. By the way, the camera connection, if you want to attach an optional camera to the drone, will be here. So all this other hardware here, that has to do with using that, so we're not going to even cover that at this particular time. So let's just get the drone set up with these pontoons. Let's see, perhaps we should lay it upside down. Let's do that. Face it in this direction here, and there we go. That's probably a good way to do it. And the pontoons snapping, and they seem to be fairly secure. I don't think these are coming out. In fact, all this hardware seems to attach with a very satisfying positive lock. All right. And now we can rest it down for the moment. Maybe straighten that out a bit. All right. Well, that didn't take long. So there it is, the Mavic with pontoons. What do you guys think? I think we're going to test it out. And having the bubble on here, I think I might keep that on there just in the initial testing, just to see, make sure there's not any splash coming up to the camera when flying with this. But other than that, I'm not crazy about the color, but I guess it's a visible color. So we'll have to flight test with it. It feels very light. I'll try to post in the description the actual weight of it. I'll weigh everything on here and see how it comes out. As far as stability, it definitely seems to give it a very good stance. I see this being pretty secure in the water, so I'm excited about it. So I think this should be pretty cool, and we're going to test it out. All right, so there it is, the Mavic Pro with pontoons from Star TRC. Before we conclude this episode of unboxing, I just wanted to give a shout out and thanks to two channels. One is Matteo's RC, where you will find the most amazing films. To call them videos is actually downplaying it. The man is a genius filmmaker. They are hands down the best miniature movies I've seen, using miniature trucks and vehicles, just driving along, and you are just so immersed in the world, and it is just so entertaining. It's fun for the whole family. I highly encourage you to stop by and subscribe to him. He is a legend, I think. There's nobody else doing anything like that out there. And the other shout out I'd like to do is for my special friend across the pond, Ian in London, who was kind enough to review the footage that I uploaded yesterday with the helicopter close encounter in downtown Raleigh. Actually, it was 2 days ago now. And he is going to be featuring that video clip on his channel maybe by now, by the time this video is out, or shortly thereafter, but sometime in the next time frame of this video going up. So he also has a amazing site, everything you want to know about drones, photography, flying, tips. Fantastic site. He's got a beautiful website as well. Please have a visit to his channel. The link to his channel will be, of course, in the description below. So that concludes this episode of unboxing. Thank you very much for watching, and I can't wait to get this guy out there on the water. See you out there.